What's up, people? It's the Country CEO back again with another video. New year, new time to be glad. Look like we got some stimulus that's coming or about to happen, or some of you may even have gotten it already. All right. So it's all good. Look like the government is trying to help us. But nevertheless, some of you already in the dump truck business, or some of you who are thinking about it, it's a good time to get started. Why is that? Well, because I hear the government talking about infrastructure bill. You may have heard me talk about it in one of the previous videos. And anytime they get to talking about infrastructure, that's good for a dump trucker, because typically that means roads and bridges, right? Right. All right. Topic for today is, what kind of paperwork is involved in your dump truck business, right? What kind of paperwork is it that's involved in running your dump truck business, right? Let's get into it, right? All right, had a subscriber ask this question a few weeks back about what kind of paperwork is involved that needs to be done when you're running a dump truck business. Such a great question. And I just felt compelled, and we're excited actually when she asked that and wanted to know what would need to be done in order to take care of the paperwork portion, right, of your dump truck business. It's very important. Many have went down in flames behind not taking care of their paperwork properly, right? Previous video, I added a little piece about this, but this is a video that's devoted to the whole thing. All right, let's get into it. All right, first thing that's involved, the kind of paperwork that's involved with the dump truck business, obviously would be employee records, right? I keep a file on myself and employees, right? What's in that file, right? The application that they may have filled out, drug tests, alcohol test records, right? A copy of their medical card, a copy of their CDL. So even before they know, I know as well when their CDL is about to be expired, and a copy of their weekly pay stub, right? And so I keep this file. I got a couple of file cabinets in here, and I keep a running file on that particular employee, right? Why is that important? Because it's always handy to be able to go to and check on things that you may need. Somebody might call you and need some records on them, and it's just good to be organized and be able to grab that, you know where it's at, and not have any issues, right? All right, so employee records obviously is paperwork that's involved in running a dump truck business. All right. All right. Oh, also, you want to keep a running file on your insurance, right? You got your insurance policy or papers or certificate in a file, as well as your workman's comp, as well as your W-9 and your company records, right? I put all that stuff in a folder and in a file, right? All right. I'll say that again. W-9, insurance certificate and policy, company records such as the original filing papers with the state for the LLC, because many times you will get folks want a copy of that for different stuff, right? And so you want to keep all of that stuff in a particular file as well, where it's also handy where you can grab it when you need it, right? All right. Also, let's get into the nuts and bolts of the actual stuff that's involved in working and processing the kind of paperwork after you've been working, right? I think that's what this subscriber wants to know, and I'm glad to oblige, right? All right, so first of all, if your truck is working, you want to keep a daily log of the work that's being done, right? I don't care how many trucks you got, whatever that truck number is, you want to write the date, the truck number, how much they made, and where they work, right? I'm going to give you an example of this. This is one of my old tablets. I basically just take a regular one subject notebook and I write it down just like I told you, right? I want to show it to you, right? This is the date, all right? You see the amount of money made, truck number, right? And you're going to see initials on the end. That's the company, right? I know the company name, and so I'll just initial their particular name, so I'll know who that is, right? And so this is what I do on a daily basis, right? All right. I didn't put the truck number on here because right now I've downsized. I'm on the latter end of my years in the dump truck business, so I only have one truck. So I didn't have to put the truck number, but in past times, I would put the date, the truck number, the amount of money made that day, and the company that I work for, right? All right, so let me show you that again. You see the date, you see the amount, and you see the company, right? All right, and y'all see that this was some good days here, wasn't it? Right? You see the date, shoot, that's $1,800, right? You see the date, shoot, I think that's $1,000, right? So that was a good week right there, right? All right, so I pretty much just, like I say, take a one subject tablet and put that in, and that's very adequate. That does the job for me. All right, let me go back and show you where when I still had two trucks, how I did it. You can see how I did it like that. You have the date. You have the truck number, SY1. You notice my business is SeatKey First, right? And so you have the truck number, the amount, the company, right? And then you can see where I went over and did that for the other truck, right? Same thing going across, right? So it's something as simple as that. It's not rocket science. You ain't got to reinvent the wheel. Just a simple one subject notebook. And then after these notebooks, they probably last a year, maybe even more of doing that. I just file it away in the file cabinet. I can always go back to it when I need it. Good part about it is dated. So it lets me know when I did that, who I work for, how much I work, right? All right, good information. So that's a daily work log. Lets me know what I've done every day, right? And then all I do on that same notebook is just total the amounts up, right? All right, let me grab that again and show you what I did, how I totaled it up for the end of the week, right? So what I do is then, all I do is grab the total, right? These are two trucks. That's the total that was made for the week, right? So that's my weekly report for me right there on the same tablet, right? They worked the whole week. I come out to the side, two trucks. This truck made that much. This truck made that much. This how much we made for the whole week, right? So that's an example, right? All right, that was a slow week there. All right, and so all I do is then I know the companies that I work for, right? So here's the next step, right? In paperwork that's involved in the dump truck business. Here we go, right? So now you need to do an invoice, right? Now, I'm not saying you're going to have to invoice all of your customers. Some of them keep tickets on their own. You ain't got to send them nothing. They automatically know what you made and they'll send you a check. But more times than not, you're going to have to do some kind of invoice, right? So you need to create a template. And this is all I did was create a template. Let me show it to you, right? That's my heading, right? You see that? All right. And then you see the columns, what they say. Date, truck number, job. That pretty much what's the job that I was on. Hours, how many hours I made. If it was by the load, tons. What was the rate? What's the grand total? And then the ticket number, right? And I just total that up going all the way down. This is my invoice. And then at the bottom of the invoice, all I'm doing now is simply putting the total, right? And that's it, right? And so you can easily create that out of a Word document, all right? That's all I did. Been using this for, 20 years, a form like this, right? Simple, but this is basically your invoice form, right? Right? And you need to create that. Be able to send them a professional invoice, no ranky-dank stuff on written out or on paper, regular paper, something like that. You want to look professional. People treat you how you present yourself, right? Did you get that? People treat you how you present yourself, right? So you want to make sure you do that. All right, here's a invoice that I sometimes do also out of QuickBooks. When I was subcontracting a lot and I had a lot of truckers, I did QuickBooks invoice, right? This was made out of QuickBooks. So I have done it both ways. All right. I only running one truck now, so I just kind of use the other one. But when I was running a lot of trucks, myself had more than one truck, and I had trucks working with me, I'm going to slide it up. Then I pretty much just created this invoice out of a QuickBooks program, right? Let you see that. All right. And then it will email that customer directly. You can email them directly out of the QuickBooks program. Okay. All right. All right. What else we have? Ticket books, right? You're going to need to get ticket books. You can easily go to Dollar Tree, Dollar Store, any cheap store and get regular ticket books. or you can customize your stuff. I chose to customize my stuff. Remember, it's all about presentation. If you present yourself as professional, you get treated as professional, right? So I went to Office Depot. You might have Staples where you're at, Office Max, whatever, doesn't matter, or any printing shop, right? And all I did was just get it customized. You see that? In my name. All right, you see what I got as the heading. Those things, date, come to the bottom where it asks, driver and truck number, and then who signed it, all right? Important that drivers get somebody on the job to sign the ticket, give them a copy, you keep a copy, right? All right, so you need to do that. That's paperwork that's involved in the dump truck business, right? All right. And then pay stubs, right? You paying your driver or yourself. I use this still for myself. Simple Word doc, right? Seek Ye First LLC. I'm going to slide it up for you. You see where I got name and social security number. All right. Pay period ending and then the pay date, right? Right. Slide it up for you some more. Got a daily report. I go down and I can put every day that I made. I'm on salary, but when I had drivers, or if I use a driver now, I'll put it right here, what they made every day, right? Then I come on down here. This is what I'm taking out, right? The deductions, right? All right, notice professional. I give this as a stub. This is my pay stub, my checking and my employee pay stub. I give that to the driver. He gets a copy. I make a copy, keep it for my records, right? I've had drivers to move on or child support issues or whatever, and they need a copy of their pay stub. Guess what? I haven't had any flack out of anybody from the government, from the local governments on these stubs. They work, okay? All right. All right, so those are some of the paperwork. Those are some of the papers, documents that you can use to make for a smooth running organization. But don't forget presentation. You present yourself as a professional. I don't care if you're driving a 1990 clunker, running loud. You handle yourself in a professional way, you'll get treated in a professional way. And handling paperwork, you'd be surprised how many guys I know don't know anything about how to do this paperwork, don't realize it, or feel that they need to present themselves in a professional kind of way, don't even keep up with stuff like this, right? So this is very important. I believe in presenting myself as a businessman, right? I'm a businessman. All right, I think that was the show somewhere. Instead of saying S, it was a D, businessman, right? I'm a businessman, right? So it's all about presentation as well. All right, so let me say this as I wind down this video. A matter of fact, if this video has been valuable to you, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share it with somebody. All right, the next thing is if you're subcontracting in a similar fashion, you need to keep a file on every trucker that works for you, right? And what are you keeping? You're keeping a W-9. You get them to fill out a W-9 for you. You need a copy of their insurance certificate. You need a copy of their workman's comp. Right? Right? Here it is again. If you're going to subcontract and other truckers are working for you and you're writing them a check and you're going to give them a 1099 at the end of the year, in their file, you need their W-9, their insurance certificate, their workman's comp certificate if they have workman's comp. Now watch this. If they have insurance, but they don't have workman's comp, you have to take out the workman's comp, right? All right. Well, how do you do that? Let me show you. I have another form that I created for myself that you can take their workman's comp out on, all right? Here we are again. You see, seek ye first my heading, and then I'm going to stroll it up for you slow for you to see. Workers' compensation worksheet, right? Total amount earned. What's the total amount they earn? All right, and then you see the formula that I'm using to take out, right? How much to take out of that check. All right, I hope you can see that. Slide it up, okay? All right, so I hope you can see that. All right, but the point is, I made my own form even for that when I was subcontracting, because that workman's comp is nothing to play with, right? And you are required to take it out of their check. If you don't take it out of their check, guess what? Your workman's comp insurer, you gonna pay for it, right? You're getting charged for it. So you take it out of their check, and I mentioned in a previous video, you add 1 or 2% to that because you're letting them ride under your workman's comp policy, right? So you take 1 or 2% and add on to that. So you pay the workman's comp insurance their portion, and then you make 1 or 2% off of it as well. Because if the rascal got drivers, he ought to have workman's comp, and if he doesn't have it, then he's paying for convenience. You can't let him ride up under your workman's comp and you not benefit. Okay, all right, and so that's if you're subcontracting, right? All right. And so another thing as relates to paperwork that's involved in the dump truck business is to keep any and all receipts, right? Any and all receipts, even the lunch receipts, the breakfast receipts, right? Keep those receipts. I basically use gold envelope, those tall ones like that every month, and I'm putting all my receipts in there, my bank statement, all that, anything associated with the business, I put it in that during the course of the month, right? And then when the bank statements come in, I reconcile my bank statements. And what I mean by reconcile is that I go through my checkbook and I see which checks did not clear before the month ended, and I write them down, what they were for, add on a blank piece of paper, add them in with the bank statement so my CPA can see what checks that I wrote that did not clear within that particular month, right? And then I got all my expenses, all my paperwork, my pay stubs for my employees or for myself in that monthly paperwork. And then I'm taking that to the CPA, and that way she can properly do my monthly paperwork, and I'll be on top of that game, right? I don't have to worry about that. My job is just to keep good order and to get it to her. Her job, which I pay her for, is to do it right, and so keep me out of trouble, right? All right. So that's how I handle receipts and monthly paperwork and bank statements and those kinds of things, okay? All right, and then one more thing I want to give you before we get off is just to kind of show you, you do have to pay road taxes once a year for your dump truck. When you come in Louisiana, you got 90 days before you pay the road tax fee. It's $364 for triaxles, and then every year you have to renew. And let me show you how they make sure you gonna renew. You cannot renew your license tag for your truck unless you have the previous year's tax form, road tax form, 2290 IRS form. It's the same in every state. You got to bring that with you to renew your license tag, right? So they make sure. Here's one, what it looks like, right? All right. And I just file mine electronically. I don't worry about going to the IRS anymore. I just file it electronically. You can see this form, right? Right. So, so they make sure that you are going to pay the road taxes. You can't renew that tag unless you do. All right. All right. So that's about it. Paperwork that's involved in the dump truck business. Paperwork helps you to maintain order, to have structure. But again, it's about presentation. And when you don't mind investing a little money in making some Word documents, to getting professional custom ticket books, all of that is a reflection of your business. And that contractor is looking at you, and he sees a businessman, not or a woman, and not just some blowjo or her off the street that went and got a truck and calling themselves being in business. But you will be looked at as a legitimate and professional business, right? All right, that's it. Hope this has been helpful. If it has, again, hit that like, hit the subscribe, share this video with somebody, right? All right, Country CEO, I'm out of here.